Hello everyone. Starting the live koi pond. Putting the rocks around it. Like I said, I'm using the white rocks around the outside of the plastic. The inside of our koi pond has dried. It dried faster than I thought it would. I thought it would take at least a couple of days, but it's only took overnight, which is kind of cool. There is some glitter inside the pond, as you can probably see it. So I don't really have to. I put a little bit of white glitter in there, but I didn't have to put too much. So, but it is very heavy. So the koi pond is going to be sturdy, and it's going to be even heavier with these rocks around it. So I'm going to go ahead and start on that. I plugged up my hot glue gun and it's ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and start. First of all, we're going to start around the outer edge here, putting the rocks. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I just start with a little zigzag motion, basically, and start placing the rocks. Now, it doesn't matter how you put these as long as they're not draping over the edge, so that you can keep it up off of the table, but yet you're not making a stand for it, so you don't have to worry about it. I place big rocks first, and then I go back in and place the little rocks in later on. So I'm getting the bigger rocks and placing them around, and placing them around, and placing them around the outside, and trying to lay them as flat as I possibly can, but you're not going to be not really going to have to worry about it, because you're having to you're just placing the big rocks for now. I'm placing the big rocks around. I'll show you the end results in just a second. I have to, while the hot glue is actually hot, I want to work with it. That way I can move the rocks around and get them just like I want. Okay, that's one side of it. It's going to be better than that. I'm just placing the big rocks around first, and then I'm going back and go all the way around. Another glue stick. I'm placing the big rocks first. Placing the big rocks. I am done because the hot glue gun, it dries really quick, so hardens very quickly. So it's kind of hard to get the glue to come out when it first starts, because it's kind of takes a while. But anyway, all I'm doing right now is just placing the rocks around the outside. Down the other side now. Okay. Placing them. Hoping some people will come in here. My dog's trying to get my attention down here, scratching at me. No one's coming yet, so I'm just going to continue to do this live. Nobody comes in. Just fine. Watch later. Anyway, you keep going all the way around until that rock comes apart. See, it dries really quick, so you have to really be in a hurry to place these so it's a non-stop thing. And you can't really stop when you're doing this. So I'm going to pick out a few little big ones here. So I continue to keep going. I'm scraping through the bowl here to get big ones out. But that one's a little bit too big for that side, so I'll do that one. See, that glue's already dried. To be very quick when it comes to this glue, because this glue is hot glue. That's the reason I like hot glue, because it's an instant craft, so to speak. It doesn't take much to dry quickly. I'm just doing the outer side of my pond. Placing them very quickly. I thought that one would have dried before I got to it. That's why I was right in a hurry. It's getting heavy to hold. With the sand in there and then the rocks on the outside, it gets heavy to hold it. The glue stick. Hopefully. Now some of them may fall off. Hope they don't fall off, but some will. Some will fall off. Which should be expected. Okay, made it all the way around. Now it's all covered all the way around the pond. It's all got one layer of rocks. Now, I'm going to leave these two rocks out, bigger ones, because I'm going to put them inside the pond. Okay, now what we're doing is doing around the top edge here. I'm going to put some around the top edge. And this is what's going to be hard, because you might be able to see it, you might not. But I'm doing right around the top edge. Around the top edge. And I'm trying to use the smaller ones. That way it'll cover more of the top than... See, those two already... That glue already dried that quick. That's how quick this stuff dries. And you can only do like so much at a time, because it will dry, like that rock dried. I'm not going to hurry and put another one in here. Put another dab right here. They're starting to fall off. I don't think this is... They're all falling off. Because they're drying before I can get them on there. So let me hold this down here and do this, because I don't want to... It gets too heavy and my hands are making them come off before I can get the second layer on. And it's, they're drying too quickly, so I have to. And plus it's getting heavy. And my fingers are falling off, or making them fall off, so... Placing the small ones around the top. Just keep going around the edges. Doing a little bit at a time. Don't do too much at one time in gluing because it will dry on this plastic before you can get the rocks on. Now, a lot of people have told me that they think I need to use the cement, maybe, to go, see, it's already dried, to go in between the glue, between the rocks, as you would like you would do any of the, like if you're doing a concrete wall or an actual pond outside. Cement in between to hold it. Try not to do big lines at a time. You got a hole right here, you just snide off. Got a hole right here. It keeps falling off. Of course, the more you add to it, the heavier it's going to get. And I want it to be heavy because I want it to be sitting on something where it does not fall. You know, it does not tip over because it's going to be very heavy. Okay, there's one piece down here where it fell off. Then I'm going to have to add a rock. A couple of the rocks fell off, but I can add them later. If you keep falling off, I'm going to have to figure something else out. I don't want to use anything else because it will take forever for it to glue, and it'll take me days to do this thing. It's come in so far. You know, it's going to get to the point where I can't do this at all with hot glue. It's just not going to stick to this plastic. I don't quite understand. Because usually hot glue, especially when you buy the stone hot glue for stone and stuff, it'll stick no problem and stay, but this is just not adhering to it. I don't understand it. Got a lot of strings. A lot of strings. Oh, come on. It's getting tedious because it takes a lot. Trying to get this thing to stay. dries so quickly. I'm sorry about being so quiet. Just takes a lot of concentration on this, trying to get this to glue right. Stacking these little rocks top each other and get them to stay is a major pain. But hopefully I can get them done right. Okay. The rock falls off. I think it's where I was gluing the big rocks and I glued a long string and the air got to it quick because this is a hot glue is high. It dries very fast, so if you don't place it right when it first comes out of the glue gun, you lose the glueness, I'm going to call it, of it is where I put it. But you lose that because it just sits there. Oh, that'll work. Basically, try on air. A lot of people say Gorilla Glue. But the thing is, with glue as such, that it takes forever to dry. And you're having to do... This is really tedious. You have to wait till it adheres to it, like overnight, 2 or 3 nights, before it actually works. I'm sorry. When I do this, I don't want to have to wait. That's why I got hot glue. My dog's over here scratching around on the floor. Okay. I don't know if that'll stick there. I haven't done it quick enough. I don't know. Some glue string. That's what I'm talking about. How it comes off. This is so tedious. So tedious. To the point where it really upsets you because you're constantly having to glue. They fall off. You got to glue them back again. And they drive you nuts because you're constantly gluing, taking off, setting, gluing, taking off, setting, gluing, taking off. So a lot of people say you get the sides down. And I'm picking up and dropping as soon as I pick them up. So I'm talking about if you don't set it right then and there, you're not going to get it set in there. Strings, and more strings. And I'm gluing and setting down right after I glue them. I'm setting one right down on top of it right then. There's one right back to back. And seeing if, see. It takes forever. This is so tedious. Because you're fighting strings and you're fighting like a losing battle of getting it to stay in place. Oh my gosh, this thing is falling apart in front of my face. Now if this doesn't work, I'm going to be looking for other alternatives. Now I'm putting them over the lip where the sand is. I'm putting them over that. Putting them over the lip so it looks natural. So I just picked that rock up with my end of my glue gun. Just like that. It's going to be nice if it works. It's going to give me that the effect that I'm looking for. I'm just having to. It's being so tedious though. Bigger rocks I'm pushing them aside because I'm using them inside. Really, come on.
You started the damn storm test, but I wasn't even ready. You got a purple scar. You got a purple scar. There was no legendary in there. I already checked. How the hell did he get a legendary? You, oh! God. Yeah, whatever. You're gonna die anyways. I'm gonna let you. Rogan, why are you dying?
Okay. It's very, very tedious. This, I think, is harder than the sand ever thought it been. Because
I don't know. I found one.
you really can't see it, but as you can see, I'm working around the outside. I'm putting them on the lip of the pond to make it look like it's a natural rock pond. And not only does this cover the sand, that one just fell off. This is getting so tedious that I don't know if this is even going to work with this glue gun on this side here. I may just be wasting my glue sticks as I'm speaking.
How do you go down? You killed him.
Because every time I turn a corner or turn around to the other side, they fall off. don't quite understand. I've used hot glue gun before on rocks and glass and marbles and things, and it's always held, and for some reason these stones just does not want to stay on here real well. Now if I glue them to each other, the rock on the bottom is coming off, but the one on the top, it's one on top staying, because it's actually being glued on top of each other. So I don't know exactly why. I think it's the plastic, the reason why it's not holding. Another one right here. It fell off right here. A little bit more there than I did before.
Whoa, broken. How do you go down? Down. Broken. Why are you using a gun? The sword probably already broke.
Alright, now, let's see. I've done the outer edge, and there's still some edges that has fallen off. So, trying to figure out what I can do about keeping this intact.
Over here, guys.
I need a couple on the outside here. Put it this way, put it on the rock, and then place it. See if that helps. I'll try. Didn't work with that.
He won't die.
Now I'm going back and filling in the gaps with rocks. Okay. Now, I've got that added on there. Now I'm going to build up. I'm going to build up on one end, because one end is going to be the waterfall. So this end's already built up. So we're going to build up this end here to build it up, because I've got to build it into like a V and then come straight up and then have a platform on top, because that's the waterfall. So we'll go ahead and do that. Hopefully this stays in place. One was a little iffy over here. Excuse me. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and lay these big rocks down in here where I want the excess rocks to be in my pond. I put quite a bit in here. Not too much, just enough to hold it in where I want the rocks to be. Come on. Now it doesn't want to glue it on. I mean, it wants to glue, but it wants to glue wrong. Alright, there we go. Alright, there's 2 rocks on the end of my pond. Now I can put up rocks this way inside. Look, little baby rocks out here. Okay, baby rock right here. Now this is also going to be covered by glue, but it's going to be covered with that clear glue like I bought. So there's the rocks on the edge. There's strings all over this thing. I'm afraid if I pull a string though, it'll all come falling apart. Ravel. Alright, now I'm going to build up. I can't decide whether I want it in the middle or if I want it on the side, have the waterfall going in. I've seen a lot of people do them on the ends here. Some rocks out here. Okay, a base. So we use this starting out as the base. I'm going to put this right here. Use quite a bit on top of this because this is the base and it's pretty good size. There's starting with the base. Another one right here. And they just basically build up from there. Another glue stick. Okay.
There's like a bunch of Connie Crawford, so you'll have to look for a girl in a red dress
As you can see, I'm starting to build up on the corner here. And I'm just going to keep going until I get the look that I'm looking for.
Robbie, you better not lose that sword. What? 3 outlets? That was what you had to do. No, you've got to do 3 of them. We have to do 2 more.
There we go. Find a skinny one right here in this little hole.
6.
Okay. Let's turn this around so I'm getting the effect that I'm looking for. Yeah, that's the effect I'm looking for. Because I want to build up a little bit more. Because it's got to be high enough. Let's put some one on this side. It doesn't look. Put some in between the rocks too, because they're getting a little wobbly.
You gotta go find one, exit out of or, yeah, you know, hold on. I wanna see what page is you on? In Plankerton, what page? You're on 12? Which one?
Okay, when I get it up as high as I want it, this is heavy. Heavier than I thought it was going to be. It was going to be heavy, but I see some spots here on the side walls that I want to build up a little bit. I still have holes. I don't want to see the plastic at all. I want to be able to cover those. There's one right over here I can do. First of all, let's finish this water fountain. I need to find some flat rocks as far as I can get them to lay on the top, because I have to build a base. Building a flat base now.
Well, you have to find this great way to it, because it's gonna take forever. Well, we're doing it, nobody else is coming to help. Alright, I'll get that.
Alright. Now the back part of the waterfall I'm going to be doing when I'm back here, because I'm going to make, I can do it this way, but I'm going to have to put rocks on the outside, so I need to make a base kind of thing. I want to make that sitting down on the thing, because I want to make the lip to come out a little bit, not much, just a little bit. So I will make it so it flows down. So we have a flat rock here, something I can use. Oh, here we go. This will work. See how that's coming out a little bit. Okay. Some holes, so I'm filling these holes with more rock. Okay. Now I want to put some over here. So all I'm doing now is just putting rocks in the corner where I put those other 2 big rocks and the other 3 small rocks. I'm just building up around them. That's all I'm doing. Because once you start putting the fish in the corner or putting the fish in the water, alright, now I'm going to do this without it falling off. Alright, here's, like I said, here's the corner, here's my pond. Where did that fall off at? Looking for the spot that fell off at right there. Put one more in there. Okay, now I've got all the rocks in place that I want. Now for the next step, I'm going to find it, here it is. I'll go ahead and put my silicone in. And before I do that, let's clean up the mess here a little bit. Go ahead and plug this because now we're going to go making. We're going to put this aside because the pond is, rocks and things done. We are going to, if I can find it, there it is, a polymer clay. Alright, this is oven baked. This is not polymer clay. We're going to try to see what this does. Wow, this is pure white. Oh, no. Okay. It's going to take a while to make the koi fish on that. Okay, while this is drying, we're going to go ahead and add 1 layer of our quick grip. Adding it to the rocks. If anything, this will make everything in here to everything. And put it all across the top. It smells like rubber cement. I'm just putting it around the top to keep it from okay. Now I'm going to put it inside the waterfall.
Yeah, I know. You get the tracks when you find the below.
Okay. Like strong glue. That adhere the rocks. That adhere the rocks together here and squeeze some to the outside. So we're gonna have to let this set overnight at least. And while that's setting, I'll be doing the fish and going from there. So a lot of people used to use a small one. That way it helps with everything. And this quick grip, it's not going to fill the whole entire bottom of this thing. So I don't want to use any more because I want to put the fish in it. I basically adhered that to that. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the fish and go from there. And I can't really do the fish because I don't have the black and the orange polymer clay. So I have to get that. Let's see how easy this was to maneuver. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be easy. All right, so I'm gonna do this one, and then I'm gonna work on my quilt, and then I'll come back.